Hey guys, my name is Matt Numrich, and today we're going to go ahead, we're going to cover long gun disarms. Now obviously we have an AR version right here, but just understand whether you're talking about a shotgun or a long rifle kind of a disarm, this will all work for these type of weapons right here. You know, out on the net you see a lot of gun disarms with pistols, but not a whole lot of long gun disarms. And that's why we want to go ahead and we want to cover this today. Make sure you guys watch the whole video, and also make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. We got a lot of interesting content that I want to share with you guys. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna break down just a couple positions right here when we're faced with a long gun. A long gun disarm does differ from a short gun, let's just say a pistol kind of a disarm. So it's very important that we make sure we pay attention to a couple of these things. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set it up just from a front position right here. Now, if you've seen any of my gun disarm videos, you guys realize that distance is paramount. If I have Don, let's say 15 feet from me, this is gonna be a situation where I cannot pull off a disarm for obvious reasons. There is just too much distance right here. So when we talk about this disarm, understand with this disarm against this firearm or any kind of firearms, distance is paramount. So from this kind of position right here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have it faced high. There are several positions right here. We're gonna take this first one high. In this kind of position, we wanna make sure that we get into some kind of submissive stance. Reason being is it all of a sudden lowers this person's blood pressure, make sure they don't get a little trigger happy, and all of a sudden they pull the trigger even maybe without them knowing. But also we wanna make sure that we don't agitate someone. If I go ahead and I get in this position, I start pointing back at this person, swearing at this person, telling this person what an idiot this is, you know, they're probably gonna pull the trigger on me, okay? Or at least it increases the chances of them pulling the trigger on me. So we wanna go ahead, we wanna get into this submissive kind of position right here, or stance. The first thing we wanna do is we wanna go ahead and we wanna clear. That's the first step. There is a line of fire that comes out from this firearm that we wanna make sure that we clear from any part of our body. So when we're doing this, the clear is happening just like this. We're moving two things. We're moving not only our head out of the line of fire, but we're also moving the gun out of the line of fire as well. So as I do this, this is the first movement right here. I'm gonna have Don on this position as well, just so you guys can see it from that kind of an angle. This is the movement that we're looking for, all right? So as I do this, this is the clear right here, okay? All right, I'll do it one more time. It's not just this, it's not just this, it's combining both of them together. After we go ahead and we do that, we wanna go ahead and we wanna isolate the weapon. All that means is we're gonna take our rear hand and we're gonna cup over the weapon just like this. So as I do this, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna clear, and we're gonna lock on over just like this. This is what I call isolate. I'm gonna put Don back on this angle right here, this position, so we can go ahead and review that and also move into the next step. We have our clear, we have isolating. Notice how I've moved in a little bit. Now we're going ahead and we're hitting with that elbow right over the top just like this. Let's go ahead and go through those steps. We wanna go ahead and we wanna clear, isolate, and then elbow just like that. After we're done elbowing, this hand right here can go under, it can go on top. All we're gonna do is we wanna wedge, we wanna use a little bit of leverage right here to now pull the weapon away from the person, step back, and get ready to use it if by chance we need to. Let's go over that real quick. As we go here, this is clear. Notice how this hand gets dropped. If I do this, I violated that rule of making sure that the line of fire does not cross any other part of my body. So even if it's a disarm down low, I wanna make sure it's not covering my feet or my shins or anything like that. If it's high, I wanna make sure that it's not going past my arm. So this hand drops, I go ahead and isolate, elbow, and then I can go ahead and manipulate out. Now when I manipulate out, I just start striking with the barrel, buttstock, barrel, and I can come right back here. Let's take a look at this again. As we're here, we are going ahead and clearing. We're isolating, elbowing, coming right through here to manipulate, and then we just want to go ahead and strike multiple times. I had, you know, one of my instructors say you want to kayak with anger, and I love that kind of analogy right here. So when we go ahead and we do this, we want to go ahead and we want to clear, isolate, elbow. As we manipulate, we are kayaking with anger, striking this person back and forth. The reason why it's so important is that you cut off the person trying to follow you or trying to continue to hold on to the weapon any way they can. So I really like that kayaking with anger right here. So as we do this, this is the barrel, the buttstock, the barrel, as we come back here, always stepping back. Now, when we go ahead and we do that, depending on what kind of weapon it is, we might need to clear the weapon. If the gun did go off, we might need to go ahead and charge it back up again. If some kind of jam happened or something like that. So please pay attention. Depending on what kind of weapon we have, we not only want to step on back, but also clear that weapon as well. Just once again, depending on what kind of long gun that we're talking about right here. So let's Let's go through one more time. We have clear, isolate right here, elbow, manipulate, a little kayak with anger. As we come back, gain distance, and then we can go ahead and re-sight up on the person if we need to. The second version that we have to this frontal assault right here is not if the gun is up high, but what if it's down low? So I'm gonna bring Don back on here right here. So in this kind of position right here, our hands always wanna be at about the level that the weapon is at. So notice that if it was high, I want my hands high. If it's low, I want my hands low like this. When I go ahead and I clear, I'm doing this. I'm clearing this way because obviously the weapon is low. So my hands are low, I'm clearing high like that. Then I continue back exactly with the same steps that I just did right here. Let me go ahead and let's walk through that again. So the clear is the only thing that's really that much different. As I go ahead and I do that, I'm moving the body here, then I go ahead and I enter on in. Once again, this arm should go under the barrel right here. There's my elbow strike, and I can go ahead and as I manipulate, I kayak with anger as I pull back. So as I go right here, hands are low, this is up here, 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 and then I'm coming through right like that, okay? Once again, that is the version for a frontal assault, but the weapon is held down lower. All right, now we have a rear assault with a long weapon. What do we do in that kind of situation? Well, let me first say this. Because we're facing a different direction, we have the attacker who's behind us. I love contact. And what I mean by that is that if I have Don right here, I love to have a little bit of contact if at all possible. Now, a lot of times the person's gonna go ahead, they're gonna take the end of that barrel, they're gonna stick it right on you, and you know exactly where it is, okay? But let me just notice, let me just say too, that as long as I'm submissive right here, even if it was not touching, you know, this is possibly doable as well. Once again, as long as my shoulders are shrugging on up, I'm talking softly, my hands are up, I'm complying with whatever the person's saying, the person will go ahead and give you a little bit of leniency as far as moving on back. So if I need to do this, but now I know exactly where the weapon is. The second thing that I want to go ahead and do is I want to make sure that I get a quick little peek in. The reason why this is so important is now I know if the weapon is being held by the right hand or the left hand. It's very important to make sure they have that happen. We're just talking about a quick peek right here. So as I go ahead and this happens, oh, sorry, you know, this is what I want to do. Now I know the person's holding in the right hand. The first thing I'm going to do is my clear is this rotation right here. So notice as I turn, this is what I'm looking for. I'm going to have Don on the back side right here so you can see it from another position. Right here, I peeked. I notice he's holding his right hand. This is my clear, okay, all right? As I go ahead and I do that, the next step is to isolate, elbow, and what do you think we do? We do the exact same thing. This is what I love about making sure we use the exact same strategy for multiple kinds of positions, because then it's just less time that we need training, and the training that we do have, it obviously adapts to a bunch of kind of different scenarios. So if I have this right here, my hands are up just like this, here, and I carry through just like I did before. Make sure we clear that weapon if by chance we need to. If by chance the person holds the weapon down low, I know that now because of contact at all possible. If I don't know via contact, I did because I did a little peek right here. But what needs to happen here? Well, if the gun's low, my hands need to be low, right? So as I come through right here, my turn, this is my clear, and I follow up just like I did with the frontal position when it was down low. I'll go over that one more time. As I'm here, hands are down here like this. I peeked, okay? And now once again, I am turning. Notice how the turn is the clear. I am clearing the weapon. I'm also clearing my body. I am not stepping off and going here. I like the tactile sense. I like to be closer in this kind of situation. So as I do that, this goes here. This is my isolation. Here's my elbow, just like before. I come through here, barrel, buttstock, barrel, and I come back up. So those are the 4 different main positions that we have against disarming a long weapon. Make sure you go ahead and practice these, not just from the frontal high, but also from the other ones that that's why I put in this video. Make sure you guys check out the description. I got a lot of more stuff that I want to share with you guys. Thanks so much, guys.